something to share with your friends and family this Christmas? Amazing tear and share dough ball wreath with melting camembert centre. Let's get started. Right, let's make the dough. In my bowl, I've got 500 grams of very strong bread flour, and that's really important you get the high protein bread flour. And I'm adding some sea salts. Just mix that round a little bit to distribute before I put the yeast in, and some easy quick dried yeast. Mix that together, and then I'm going to add the water. I want it to be a very sticky dough, but not completely wet. So I'll put most of it in to start with, and then just bring that together. So if you don't have a stand mixer, you can just do this by hand. And I have got a tutorial on my YouTube of how to make fresh bread and knead it by hand if you want to do that. So you can see that's all come together, but it's still quite a lot of flour powder in the bottom. So I'm just going to put the rest of the water in. It's just going to be looking like a bit of a shaggy porridge. So once it's kneaded, it will become very pliable and all come together as one springy ball. So just knead that on slow. Just make sure there's no dry bits of flour still staying in the bowl. If there are, I'll add some more water. But you need to give it, like, I'd say about a minute or so before you can really tell if you need any extra water. Or in some cases, you might think that's way too wet. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more flour. So yeah, so if you have a look at it now, it's really, really sticky. So I don't need any more water at this point, but that looks very scrappy, like a porridge. So once it's kneaded, you'll see the difference. That's perfect. It's completely springy and all kind of come together as a smooth, pliable dough. So just pop that into the bowl. I've got some olive oil in there so it doesn't stick for later. Cover him up, and then we'll wait for that to rise up and more than double in size, and then we can shape it. Right, I'm going to build my dough balls around this amazing bit of cheese. So take your camembert, pop that out. I'm going to leave this just on the parchment so I can build the dough balls around it. Then when it's risen, I'll bring this back in, pop it in there. So pop that back in the fridge. Let's check out our bread dough. Lovely, lovely, and risen and jiggly and bubbly. Right, so I might actually put some oil on my hands because I can see this is pretty sticky. You want to try as best you can not to really add too much flour to it because it will change the squishiness. So having a bit of oil on your hands helps it to stop sticking. Punch that down, dump that onto the surface. There we go. I just get so excited when I make bread, don't I, Dan? I'm just going to knock that back just to kind of get some of the air out. See, look how bubbly it is. Squeaky dough. That is looking lovely. So I'm going to cut it into 32 pieces, and they don't have to be exactly the same size. So the best way to do it is cut your piece in half. In half again. So having something like a dough or bench scrape is quite handy because it cuts it nice and neatly. And then obviously just keep going in half again, half again. And when you're doing bread, you know the phrase, don't you, Dan, about bread? What they say about the dough?
Better is better.
Yes! Because that means it's really hydrated and it's going to be really soft and squishy, not dry. Have I done that one? Have I done these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 27, 28... Now it's time to roll them all into balls. I'm going to wash my hands because when you get the sticky build-up of dough, sometimes you just need to wash your hands down so then it won't stick. So let me come back and do that. You're not going to even include that, are you, Dan? I'm just going to oil my surface a little bit so they don't stick to the surface once I'm happy with them. A bit more on my hands. So the best way to do it is kind of make your hand into a kind of little cage, you see? Pressure against the surface and it will come together into a lovely little springy ball. See? Plop. And repeat. Do 2 at once. DJ of the dough decks. Yeah. In the mix. Bread and cheese together. I mean, that's merry Cheesemas. There we go. Right. Just build them up around your box. You want to leave a little bit of a gap in between them all because they will puff up. They'll probably kind of puff up by like almost double by the time they're baked. So they'll sort of join together then. And then just kind of build around in between the spaces. I'm trying to keep it like a kind of wreath, but again, I'm not worried about it being super uniform. I didn't count them actually. Do you know what? I'm gonna let it go. There we go. Right, okay. So I'm going to pop that back in my oven just with the light on, just where it's a bit warm. Let those puff up for about 35 to 40 minutes, and then we'll be ready to bake. They've all puffed up. You can see they're kind of spread out and joined together. So I've got the cheese. I have the cheese. I'm just going to cut the top off. Let's go around the edge with a sharp knife. We wish you a Merry Cheesemas. We wish you a Merry Cheesemas. We wish you a Merry Cheesemas and a Happy New. So I'm just going to take off the rind off the top. So pop that back into the box. It's almost like it's grown too big for its box. Get back in there, you. So I've got some garlic. I like quite big pieces because like when they're slow cooked, they kind of go all sweet. Do you know what I might even do? I'm just going to randomly stick a couple of bits in between my bread there. Got some fresh rosemary. Pop that in. Just like doing a focaccia in a way, isn't it? So I'm just doing a few sesame seeds on some of them. Mixed seeds here. Just do a few of those on others. Got some really lovely garlic sea salt. So some of them are going to have a little bit of that on top. I reckon if I was going to have this, I'd share this between 4 to 6 people because you want a nice few amount of dough balls, don't you? I've got some smoked sea salt. Oh, if you haven't ever tried smoked sea salt, give it a go because it's so delicious. Finally, before I pop it in the oven, drizzle of olive oil on top of that cheese. Oh, that looks beautiful. Doesn't that look lovely already? That's going into a preheated oven on about 190, 200 for about, well, let's see how long it takes. Should be about 20 minutes, so I don't know if I can wait that long. Oh, I'm so excited because the smell in this kitchen is just heaven. Oh my goodness. Look. Look. That is incredible. You can't eat it straight away. You've got to give it 10 minutes to cool down. I just absolutely baffled myself once again. I knew it would be lovely. Oh, it's kind of stuck to the paper a bit. Oh, because the cheese has melted out and gone all oozy and delicious. Oh, wow. Do you know what? I feel like it needs to be on a round one because it's just upsetting me. There, that's better. That makes me much happier because it kind of looks more wreath-like. I've waited long enough. It's ready for tearing and sharing, but I'm not sharing. I might share with Dan, but basically I'm just going to eat the whole thing to myself. Here we go. Oh. Still so warm. Oh, I can't wait to... I'm just going to go in. Ready? Let's do it. I'm not often speechless, but that is the bloody ultimate festive tear and share bread you will ever try. Let's have another bit just to make sure. Honestly, this is the best combo ever. Everything you need to make this is just down in the caption. Hope you'll give it a go. Everyone's gonna love it. Let me know if you give it a try and I'll see you soon. Bye.